way you feel about yourself determines how every other person is going to feel about you. My name is Kinsey. I am a domestic violence survivor, domestic violence advocate, and trauma-informed life coach. And today I'm going to talk to you about how the way that you feel about yourself determines how other people respect you or don't respect you. The way that we feel about ourselves, whether we love ourselves or don't love ourselves, and respect ourselves or don't respect ourselves, give off the energy of how other people are going to treat us. This isn't just in our relationships like partnerships and friendships, but this determines from the second we walk into a room. The moment that you start downplaying your worth is the moment that you start giving other people the okay to treat you poorly. When other people see that you don't value and respect yourself, they are going to subconsciously know that it's all right to disrespect you and that you're not going to do anything about it. When you don't carry boundaries in your life, especially when it comes to things like your job or your career, this shows that you don't have respect for yourself and that you are willing to do whatever anybody else asks because your needs are on the back burner. Your needs don't matter. You are a people pleaser and you put everyone else first because you don't respect yourself enough to put yourself first. For example, when your boss asks you to work extra hours, even though you don't want to, even though you really value your free time, you don't know how to say no. You don't know how to put yourself first. You don't know how to use your voice to say, no, I really need my days off. You're going to work the extra hours just because they asked. When somebody asks you to pick up their shift, when somebody else isn't doing the work that's supposed to be done, so you're just going to do it because you don't know how to say no. You don't know how to have a voice. You don't know how to stick up for yourself because you don't respect yourself. You don't know how to say, hey, this is not in my job description to be doing these things, so I'm not going to be doing this. Or I should not be the one carrying the weight of this, but I have coworkers who should be helping me. Or if you're over apologizing, when you're saying sorry so much all the time, that is showing people that you don't respect yourself, that you think that you are a burden to everybody around you. If you think that you're a burden, everyone else is going to think that you're a burden. Try changing your phrasing from I'm sorry to, there's a million other phrases you can use. Instead of saying I'm sorry I'm late, say thank you for waiting. Instead of saying I'm sorry I forgot, say thank you for being understanding about this. There are so many other things you can say instead of I'm sorry. So over apologizing shows that you don't value yourself. And when you show you don't value yourself, you are giving other people permission not to value you, therefore to treat you with disrespect. A lot of the times we don't have the boundaries for ourselves and we end up doing things like overextending or not being able to say no or over apologizing. And these are really easy initial boundaries to create when we are trying to start respecting and loving ourselves, especially when it comes to things like our jobs and our careers, because it's easier to start working on this in a work environment versus intimate relationships. Another way that you're constantly disrespecting yourself is if you're making self-deprecating jokes. I know I used to think I was hilarious. I was always making jokes, but they were always at my own expense. I was always making fun of myself, and I thought that that was funny. I thought that I was being really funny. People were laughing with me. I always thought it was funny when people were making jokes about me. Not in a mean way, but like in a teasing way. And I always laughed at that, but that's disrespect. Tolerating disrespect or making jokes about yourself and disrespecting yourself, that's all disrespect. That's not respecting yourself. When you're constantly tolerating disrespect, such as somebody always showing up late to your plans, not really texting you back the way that they should be, making jokes at your expense, things like that, when you're not standing up for yourself, when somebody's disrespecting you, that's disrespecting yourself. And again, when you're disrespecting yourself, that's giving everyone else the okay to disrespect you. And then you're not being treated with the respect that you deserve. Even though that seems like something minor, that carries into large-scale disrespect and things that you don't really think about when it comes to respecting, valuing, and loving yourself. Like, how do you carry yourself when you walk into the room? Are you, quiet, passively hunched over, like just kind of walking in? Or do you walk with confidence, with your head held high when you walk into a room? Are you that woman that walks in and carries that energy where people kind of stop and look at her? That is a woman who respects herself. Do you respect your time? Your free time is your free time. I know that my free time is my free time. So I know my boss schedules me on my hours, and he knows not to schedule me outside of my hours because that is my free time. And I have established that respect for myself, and he knows that and understands that. Because that is my time and I respect my time, therefore he respects my time. He doesn't ask me to work extra hours. How are you holding your boundaries? Do you establish boundaries with people? And if you do you let people cross them, or are you firm with them? If you say I am not accepting this behavior? How lenient are you on that? Or do you truly not accept that behavior? I know I used to sit and say that I didn't accept certain behaviors, but I would get into an argument and then get over it and it was fine. I don't do that anymore. If I say I don't accept certain behaviors, I do not accept certain behaviors. You do this kind of behavior and you're gone. For me in my life, I don't want people to be like drunk drinking around me because that's not at a phase in my life where I'm at. If you want to drink, that's fine, but I don't accept that behavior because that's not something I want around my life. So go do it on your own time. Go do it somewhere else. That's just not a behavior that I accept. That is a boundary for me that if you cross it, I don't want you in my life. So when it comes to boundaries, are you respecting yourself by being firm in your boundaries? Because when somebody sees you holding respect for yourself and holding respect in the things that you say, they are going to respect you so much more. But if somebody sees it like, okay, maybe you make a boundary, but like they know that they can get away with it. They know that you don't mean it. They know that, yeah, you say it, but you're not going to do anything about it. They're not going to respect you. They're not going to actually think that you're a tough woman for it. And the same thing could go with your opinion. People, even if they disagree with your opinion, people have so much more respect for someone with a strong opinion. If you just are super agreeable to everything everybody says, there's not a whole lot of respect there because it's like, great, you agree with everybody, you're a nice person, that's awesome. People respect somebody who has a strong opinion and isn't afraid to disagree with someone. We tend to become overly agreeable to everything people are saying because we don't want to cause any problems and we just want to seem super agreeable so that we're liked and that we fit in. When we do this, we are giving off the vibe that our needs don't matter, our opinions don't matter, we don't have an opinion of our own. We're giving off the vibe that what we have to say really isn't important and that we don't have anything important to say in general. So being overly agreeable, and especially when you're a woman, you're expected to just be agreeable, say yes, shut your mouth. I'm here to say as a woman, you should not do that. Be firm in your opinions. Don't go and start, problems with people, but don't be afraid to disagree with people. Don't be afraid to state your opinion. Don't be afraid to speak up when you're uncomfortable or you don't like the way that a conversation's going. How are you speaking to people? Are you speaking confidently? Are you speaking, with a strong and unshaking voice? Or are you kind of like timid and scared to talk and, you're kind of quiet and soft-spoken? I used to be that way. I used to be so soft-spoken and so shy and would never speak up and would never, I agreed with everybody all the time and I just didn't want to start any issues. It's important to maintain eye contact and speak confidently and know that you mean what you say and that you're not afraid to say your opinion because people respect that a lot more than somebody who's timid and kind of, looking all over and avoiding eye contact and scared to say what they mean because they don't want to start any issues. And are you respecting your time? When you get time off, are you using it for what you want to do? Or if your boss was to say, hey, can you work on your day off? Are you going to say yes because you don't know how to say no to people? No is a complete sentence. You can say no because you don't want to, and you don't have to give a lengthy reason. You can just say, no, I can't. Or you can just say, no, I am busy, I'm unavailable that day. No is a complete sentence. Respect your time. Your time is valuable. You cannot put a price on time because time is something you cannot get back, ever. So respect your time and know that there is nothing more meaningful than your time. If you don't want to do something, don't do it. But if you want to do something, go do it. At the same time, respect your time. Don't spend it doing things for other people just because you feel obligated or that, you feel like you have to. So at the same time as all of that, learning to love and respect yourself is super important as far as showing people to give you respect. Respecting your time, respecting your boundaries, being firm in that. So start establishing boundaries with people in your life. If you don't want to be around gossip, make sure your friends know that you don't want to be a part of that. And they're probably going to keep doing it anyways. And that's when you need to show them like, no, I don't want to be a part of that anymore, and walk away when they're doing it. You don't have to cause a scene, but you need to show them like, no, I don't want to do this. Make room in your life for the things that you love and know that you deserve them. It can be hard not to stress over things like bills and things that we have to get done, especially if you're a parent. I get that. But it's important to make time for the things that you love. If you want to take a hot bath, or if you like to go take walks outside, or if you like to make art, or if you like to, go dancing or whatever it is, it's important as far as giving yourself love and respecting your time to make time for the things that you love and allowing yourself time to rest. Rest is so important or you're gonna get burnt out. Resting is so important as far as respecting yourself and loving yourself, because you deserve time to rest. You deserve time to recoup and get back to that calm state. You deserve time. Everybody deserves time to rest. Making healthy choices is so important for respecting yourself. You know, it can be easy to eat junk food or go get drunk when you're stressed, or, you know, make really unhealthy choices, and in the time you can say, well, oh, I deserve it, I had a bad day. But that's gonna be so much more disrespectful to your body and to your mind than to make the healthier choice and be respectful to your body, and your body will thank you later. And, you know, not putting junk into your body is showing so much more respect for yourself. Especially as a bartender now, like, I just look at people disrespecting themselves every day, and I'm not judging, I just kind of feel sad because you don't really realize how disrespectful you're being to yourself until you're kind of outside of that. Like, I used to do nothing but eat horribly, put so much junk into my body, and I would drink, you know, all the time, and it was so unhealthy. And my body was just suffering. And now I respect and love myself so much more than that, and I know my body deserves healthy things and healthy habits, healthy food. So respecting and loving yourself that way. And also establishing healthy boundaries with people, establishing healthy boundaries with yourself, you know, knowing when to say no, knowing when to draw lines with certain people, you know, not begging people to stay in your life, not begging people to hang out with you or text you back, accepting when people aren't giving you the attention you deserve or the love that you deserve, accepting that there are people out there who will, and begging someone. If you have to beg someone to give you any attention, then you're already disrespecting yourself, and you should just walk away. And the way you speak to yourself is really important too. Catching yourself saying like, oh, I'm so stupid, or oh, that was dumb, like things like that. Try to catch yourself making, you know, comments like that and putting an end to that, because the way that you speak to yourself is so important, especially when it comes to confidence, because people can see when you feel bad about yourself or feel stupid or feel like when you know you could have done something better, just say, oh, well, next time I'm going to try a little bit harder, or I know for next time. Or so speaking to yourself in a loving way is going to make your confidence a lot better and your self-love a lot better. When you show that you lack that confidence or love in yourself, other people are going to mirror that right back to you and show you that they don't respect or love or value you, especially in a partnership. And I know I personally experienced this in my partnerships, especially my last relationship that I was in. I didn't love or respect myself, and I was giving that energy out. Like, you could tell that I didn't love myself. And so my partner was giving me nothing but disrespect back and showing me he didn't love me back by his actions, because he could tell that I didn't love myself. So it was coming right back to me. And when you're a people pleaser, people are going to continue to take from you. And it's not always an intentional thing, but when you're giving that out, when you're constantly giving, as human beings, it's in our nature to get what we need to survive. So if somebody can feel that you're going to keep giving, they're going to keep taking, especially if you're an empath and you're going to continue to give and give and give and give. People are going to continue to take from you. And when you're an empath, you keep giving with the hopes of receiving that love back. And that's like the toxic cycle of it, is you will never receive it back. You are looking for something that you can only find within yourself, and that is that love. And until you learn that it's only within yourself, you're going to constantly be seeking it outside of yourself, when the only place that you will ever find it is within yourself. So the faster that you're able to learn that the only place that you can find that is within yourself, the better off you're going to be. An important thing to do is figure out, why don't you respect yourself? Most of the time, it starts in childhood, just like any other of these issues. It stems from either a parent being disrespectful to us as a child and showing us that that's how we deserve to live, because everything that we learn as a child is what we grow up believing is true. That's called conscious programming. So when you are taught at a young age that you don't deserve love, or that you are not worth respect, you're going to grow up with that same belief system. So it's important to build your confidence. You know, wear what you want to wear, voice your opinion, build your self-love with yourself, build your confidence, speak confidently, and don't question yourself. Speak with, you know, authority in your voice. When you're sitting here being super timid, you're giving the okay to be disrespected. You're giving the okay to have people mistreat you, and you're telling everyone that it's all right to treat me poorly. A lot of the times we are comfortable being disrespected and treated poorly because we were disrespected and treated poorly in childhood. And anything that happens in childhood that was familiar to us, we grow up seeking out because we seek out what was familiar in childhood. We avoid what's discomfortable. When being disrespected or hurt was normal as a child, that's what's comfortable. And it seems backwards and silly, but that is the truth. Our nervous system craves what was familiar. So when you were disrespected as a child, that is what's familiar to you, and you need to reprogram your brain to know that you are deserving of love, you are deserving of respect, and that starts with respecting and loving yourself. You need to get real about your needs, you need to get real about your values and about your boundaries. When a woman walks into a room confidently, she is magnetizing, she demands respect, she will not accept anything less than that, and it's hard to ignore her. You respect yourself and other people will respect you. You love yourself and other people will love you because they mirror back what you're giving out from yourself. Being liked and fitting in is not the same thing as being respected. And we as society are taught that we need to fit in, that we need to be liked. You need to have this haircut or wear these clothes to fit in, and you need to be liked. You have to be liked or you're gonna be booted out and you're not gonna, be a part of this friend group and XYZ, whatever. But that's not being respected. Being respected is so much more than that. And when you're respected, you are a magnetizing. When you are respected, that carries a whole nother level of energy to it. When you respect yourself, when you love yourself, your life attracts so many bigger and better things versus being powerless and weak and afraid and tiptoeing around people and just going with the flow and begging people for attention and love and never getting it. When you respect yourself and love yourself, everything flows to you because you are magnetizing. You are a magnetizing person. And then it all attracts to you without you having to even try. But it all starts with how you feel about yourself. What you feel about yourself is what everybody else is going to think is okay to feel about you. So if you don't accept anything less than respect, that's what everyone else is going to give you. I hope you got something out of this video today. Let me know down below what you got out of this video today. If you're on your healing journey, follow along. I post videos like this every week. Other than that, I will see you in the next one. Bye.